What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today we are here in Sportschool en Testcentrum van Drunen, which basically means the gym van Drunen. And this is actually the original gym where I used to work out the very first day that I became a bodybuilder. I was 14 years old. I just did all the movements here. My dad taught me exactly how to do it, everything. And the same machines like the bench press, well, pretty much all the machines that are still here, I still know from the first day that I worked out here, so it's always amazing. Right now I live about 45 minutes away from this gym, but my brother still trains here to this day, and you will see a lot more workouts with me and him in the very near future. But today we are going to train the back and a little bit of the hamstrings. The split will be changing a little bit, but more about that later. But let's get started on the back. But before we do, I actually have an intra-workout, of course. And that's right here. So we just have some water in here and a little of EAAs, but this is the most important addition. This is pomegranate juice. So this is a carb source intra-workout, but it also provides a better pump, and it's much better for heart health, guys. Pomegranate juice, beetroot juice, a combination of both. Just use it and you will be thankful for yourself that you made this decision later on. Because nowadays we hear a lot of bad news regarding bodybuilders, so this is just one small thing that you can do. Anyway, let's check out the first movement. So this is kind of a combination of a pull down and a high row, so let's get started and really work on the lats and the upper back thickness to get started on this back workout. That was very light, and now it's time to keep increasing the weight until it's going to be a challenge, and that's going to be the first working set. So this is probably still light, but you feel here is a very good contraction. Go all the way up, feel the stretch, and only then you keep going. Very light. Let's get started right with the third warm-up. Only a few reps here, just to get used to the weight. And now it feels like we can get started on the first working set, which means going to failure. And only when you approach failure or go to failure, that's when you grow muscle. So I'm going to do as many reps as I can with good form, guys. A few reps before failure, those are the conscious muscle growth. And if you want to go beyond failure with improper form, what you do then is you won't be working on the back thickness. You will only be working the biceps, other muscles you don't want to work. So check out this execution, and the moment I can't go all the way back anymore, that's when the set is done. Let's go. Last one. That feels very good. And honestly, if you don't get a proper feeling or pump in the back after the first working set, then something was off with your form. So check that out, and let's move on to the second one. Okay guys, second working set. The same weight, we're doing 3 working sets here, so here I'm actually going to try again around 10 reps. and then lighten the weight for more reps. But anyway, let's do this. Exactly 10 reps. All right guys, this is going to be the final working set, and it's not just a lighter weight and more reps. In this set you can actually maximize your execution, and with that I mean, if in the first 2 sets you know objectively, okay, my execution was 90%, now you can maximize it to a full 100%. So if with a lighter weight you feel a better squeeze, a better contraction, then you know that in the first heavier working sets you actually did a little too heavy because you can't get into that squeeze anymore. So this set is very helpful to get into a better mind-muscle connection. Exactly what I mean. Lighter weight, more reps, and it feels very good. Okay, it's time for the chest supported T-bar row, which is this one right here. So the big benefit is, of course, it's chest supported. So you can actually dig your chest into it, allowing for a better squeeze in the back. And for most people who have lower back problems, you don't get that with this one. So if you do a normal T-bar row, your lower back might be under quite a lot of load. With this one, 0. Not a lot of reps is needed to warm up here. It's just for the movement. But now, I think we can get started with the first working set. I feel warm, it feels good, it feels natural, so let's go. Okay, you don't want to underestimate the weight here, because honestly, every plate you add becomes exponentially heavier. So I've only added 2 plates and 3/4, and we're just going to go to failure here. See if I am going to go above 12 reps or not, but depending on that, I might go heavier or not. But anyway, the full squeeze, it will grow the back. Let's go. That felt good, and especially here, because you're literally working against gravity, there is going to be a moment in the set where you can't go up that extra inch that you need for the squeeze. And then in my opinion, don't keep going if your goal is back thickness. So we're going to do this once more. Some other bodybuilders might actually go heavier because I was able to do 10 or 11 reps here, but not me, because I want to work on a quality back and not cause any unnecessary fatigue on the body. I took like 2-3 minutes rest. That's important, because if I take only 1 minute rest, I would not be able to do all the reps I'm able to do now, and those few last reps, as I said, causes the growth. So let's dive once more. Okay, and now I know for sure the third working set is going to feel amazing, because the squeeze here was great, but the more reps you're able to do with a good squeeze, the better the pump will be. Filled with blood. That feels good, guys. So one other tip is the biggest difference between the first two working sets, which are heavier compared to the lighter working set, is the feeling in the muscle. So the lactic acid part usually only comes when you go above 15 reps. If you don't feel this, something is again wrong. Like you're not going through full range of motion, you're not getting a super strong squeeze, because just that squeeze can also already cause that lactic acid to be produced a lot quicker. So let's rest and go to the next movement. So here we are going straight into the working set. So I'm going to put all the plates on here already. Probably going to be 55 kilos on each side. And you know, when you're used to a machine and you actually know how it feels, then you can be rest assured that a heavy weight, which is a working set, will actually still feel very good. If it's a new machine, don't do this. Let's do as many reps as possible here. And the low row, I'm gonna do it with one arm at a time, making it a unilateral movement. So focus on the left side first, and then the right. Adjust the seat. For me, it has to be the lowest setting. And then really focus on here. You can get a very good stretch again. The chest support. Oy, this feels pretty heavy. Let's go. Okay. Oh. Whew, that felt good. So here you can get a really good stretch, but because your elbow is very close to your side, you can really use the motion of the lat to recontract the lat here. Again, if you don't feel the contraction here, the weight is far too heavy and you will not get a thick back. Okay guys, I reduced the weight a little bit, and my rule that I apply for myself when I'm doing a unilateral movement, I like to do only 2 working sets, because in my opinion, even though it's a lighter weight with one arm, it takes more coordination, more effort, at least for me, to be able to do this movement. So I'm doing 2 well executed working sets and then moving on to the next one. So let's go with 10 kilos less on each side. Yep, the squeeze wasn't possible anymore, and that's when you go to the next arm. Okay. Oh, yep. Another good exercise done, and yeah, feels very good. Especially with unilateral, guys. Don't go too heavy. With unilateral, you're able to go and position your body in a way to really squeeze. So if you then go too heavy, it's a waste of doing it unilaterally in the first place. So listen to your body, be honest with your mind-muscle connection, and when it's complete, you can be proud of what you have achieved. Anyway, next movement. Next movement, and the last rowing movement is going to be a wider grip seated row. I like to do this at our own gym with like a hammer grip, but this is pretty much the same, almost the same width. Why a wider grip? Because a narrow grip, you stop here. A wider grip allows you to squeeze even more, which is the biggest difference. And as I said, if you want back thickness, you need to be able to squeeze to the back. So this is the only movement that doesn't have a chest support. So I do want to actually warm up here with at least one set, one warm up, to see how it feels, to see how my lower back feels. And this is something I give as a tip to everybody, no matter how strong your lower back is, always warm up at least once on movements like this. Anyway, let's do this. Yeah. All right, that feels good. Now we can go a lot heavier. This is going to be the first of 2 working sets, so 100 kilos. Yes, I read the comments of people wanted to know how many kilos I do, how many sets and reps, and for sure it's going to be in the description below. So if you want to check that out, you can see the entire workout, every exercise, every set, every rep, but not the amount of weight, because you know that's a little cumbersome, but we're doing our best to get it below in this video. So who knows, maybe this video already has it. Okay, so this is actually a little heavier than it should be. So I'm gonna go 10 kilos lighter and then do the second working set, because everything above 5 reps is already a working set if you go to failure. So yeah, let's rest for a little while and then do the second working set. Let's go guys, 10 kilos less, but I think quite a lot of reps more. Let's do this. Sometimes you can tell that the back workout in terms of rowing or pull downs is finished when the feel is a little diminishing, and right now that's the case. So we're done with the rowing. We're going to do one more isolation and then a little hamstrings, and then we're done. So let's do the isolation pullover. One of my favorite finishers for the back, the pullover. One tip again is if your back isn't really feeling great in terms of mind-muscle connection, you might want to do this first to get a good feel in the pump in the back to make it easier for all the other movements for you to feel. But for me, it's actually a great finisher because you're using nothing but the back. So if you feel here, you know that the back is finished off. So let's go with a quite heavy weight for as many reps as we can, and then one back offset, and then the back is done. Now one lighter, a little more reps, and then the back is truly finished for sure. Go all the way up, full stretch, all the way down, contraction. You want to feel both, otherwise it's not the correct movement. All right, that's it for the back. Now we're going to do a hamstring movement for a little extra frequency of training the hamstrings, because after the back it's very nice to combine the two. So let's do that and then call it a day for the workout. Seated hamstring curl time. I don't have this machine back at 100% pigeon. I usually have the laying leg curl in my routine, and well, that's pretty much the only thing I do for the isolation of the hamstrings, apart from a hip hinge like a stiff leg deadlift, for example. But this one is actually even better for the stretch, so let's do this one to failure and then we are done. You can feel the squeeze here and go all the way up, feel the stretch. And here, if you only go to here, you will never get thick hamstrings. You have to go all the way to here, all the way up, and then every single rep you have to feel this, no matter how heavy you go. So this is pretty much the primer, the warm-up for how it should feel on the heaviest sets as well. All right, let's go heavier. Warm up number 2, and probably the final one, because this feels a little heavy already. But hamstrings respond well to heavy weights, but that only counts if you also feel the weight, especially in the squeeze. If you can able to get into the squeeze, then a heavy weight makes sense. Otherwise, it's too heavy, guys. All right, final warm up, and then a little heavier. So this was 60 kilos, now we're going to 70. And that's going to be it, to go to failure. And then 2 times more, and then that's it. So we're gonna go to failure here with 70 kilos, which feels pretty heavy. And the moment I can't squeeze anymore, that's the end of the set. Yep, that's it. And now we're gonna go lighter, 10 kilos lighter. So actually the same way as the final warm up. And then those are gonna be the final 2 working sets. That felt good. Almost done. Last exercise of the day, guys. Let's do this. And again, this is for extra hamstring frequency. So I train the legs, chest, back, rest. So then I train the hamstrings on the leg day, rest, hamstring on the back day, rest, hamstring on the leg day. So every other day, as long as the hamstrings are not sore, you can, in my opinion, train them again as long as the performance is also staying high. Okay, that's it. Okay. Now we're done with the workout, and of course, it is time for a post-workout meal, which I'll have very shortly. And I'll show you very shortly, but let's first exit the gym. So this was the workout at Van Drunen, as you can see. So we actually used to train here when I was 13, 14 for the first time. But for the very first time that I trained here, I was like 7 or 8, and I went on a treadmill. And right here, as you can see, is still a scar from my first day in the gym, walking or running on a treadmill and actually falling straight on my face, getting a lot of scars everywhere. And that was my first experience in a gym, but still, I managed to come back 7 years later, or 6 years later, and you know, become the bodybuilder I am today. So we actually used to ride our bike actually to the gym, drive here, me and Kane, my brother, and so I have a lot of memories here, and yeah, I'm still gonna keep training here, trying at least for once a week, because the machines here are a bit different. And now I'm gonna drive back home and have the post-workout meal, guys. So yeah, and by the way, if you have any suggestions for what else you want to see in the videos, make sure to comment down below, because your feedback is exactly why I make these videos. Alright guys, it's now the next day, so trained the back yesterday at Van Drunen, and I will train there a lot more with my brother and sister-in-law, because she's also a professional athlete, the IFBB, going to compete at the Portugal Pro, where I competed last year, so that's going to be interesting. More about that in near future videos. But yeah, it's the next day, maintenance phase, weight stays around 127 kilos, which is pretty good. It's pretty much like you know, a health phase. So the post-workout that I actually had was a shake. Okay, so Marley came in for a little while. They're going to actually see the thing in the back. They're going to measure the pergola, whatever it's called in English, so to get a shadow tarp over there to be able to sit there in the corner. But hey, I'm going to show you my house also in a very near future video. So yes, the post-workout meal after the back workout was just a cream of rice post-workout meal, but because I was having to drive home, I didn't actually eat the meal. I drank the meal and I ate the banana. So it was 160 grams of cream of rice, 60 grams of whey, and a banana. Very easy, you know, if you're traveling, if you have to drive home for quite a long time, if you can't eat your meal at the gym, just drink it in a shake. In my opinion, cream of rice, even ultra fine oats, like those, not the oat flakes, but the actual ground up oats, like cream of rice is ground up rice, you can use that as well to get your carbs in, and that in my opinion is the best way post-workout to get them in as quickly as possible. But I just prefer to eat them and that way get them in a tasty manner. So this is kind of what it looks like if you would not have a shake, and obviously this is a breakfast, so this is with the Calabout chocolate, which Dexter loves a lot himself, so every time I take the chocolate he wants some taste as well. But yeah, it's healthy chocolate anyway, 80% dark chocolate. So yeah, this is a cream of rice and the chocolate and the blueberries, so that's the big difference, no banana but blueberries. And of course the whey, so this is a delicious Jacked Factory chocolate peanut butter whey. We're going to add this to that and enjoy it. Anyway guys, I really want to thank you for watching, for the incredible support. The quality of these videos has been going up and up, and now it's you know, for me to stay consistent, keep posting these videos, listening to your feedback. So anything that you guys want to see, let me know down below. I'll take a look at it, and it'll come to life on this YouTube channel for sure. And yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching. Your feedback and your activity around the channel is what makes this channel, guys. So don't forget to stay